Opinions expressed those of the program host and guest and not WSTU. WSTU does not endorse any products mentioned. The reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU.
The Treasure Coast's longest-running local talk radio show is on the air. The Treasure Coast Forum. Get interested, get educated, get involved, and give us a call with your opinions at 220-9788. And here's your host of the Treasure Coast Forum.
Good evening. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday. I'm your host for today, John, and I am here with some very, very special guests.
Yes, indeed. Go
In
ahead.
a circle.
Wait a minute. Here we go. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Angelina. I'm 17. I'm a upcoming senior at South Fork.
Congratulations. Very good.
Hey guys, I'm back. I'm Jamie. Hello guys, it's been a while since I've been on here, but I'm Ashley and I'm also an upcoming senior this year.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. So what do we talk about? What your interests are within youth and government?
Yeah, so I'm actually in the judicial branch, and I think it's very awesome to see how we get to interact as if we were actually in the government, and we just learn about different aspects about it and just become really informed about how everything in the government just comes together and works together with all the different branches, and just it's really informing.
Yeah, cool. And how about you?
Well, I'm not in youth and government, but I've found this year I found an interest in that type of stuff. So maybe I'll join this coming up year.
I think this would be a golden opportunity. Yes. Yes.
Don't join Ledge. Join. Well, oh wait, no. Join Ledge. Don't join Judicial. We need more Ledge. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Legislative.
Just a heads up.
You get to see how the sausage is made if you do.
There's like 50 Judicial versus one Ledge,
Yeah.
aka me. Okay.
Yeah. Jamie, go ahead.
About YIG or just
Yes.
anything?
Yeah. Let's talk about what you like to do, what your interests are within YIG.
Well, at the beginning of YIG, I was actually in legislative first, and then I started, to write my bill, and I'm like, I will explore judicial because nothing was super official yet. It's still the beginning of YIG, and I explored judicial. I liked it, and towards coming to the state assembly, which is our big, competition kind of thing.
Right.
I applied for an executive position, and I got an executive position for my first year of YIG, doesn't happen, I think this is the first year that it happened, that it was available. And I was just so honored, and I'm very grateful that I get to have all experience around, the legislative, judicial, and executive. So I feel like that kind of gives me a leg up.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right, John, let's talk about.
I was going to excuse myself since I'm the host. Okay.
No excuses.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'm part of the Ledge branch. It's one of the lesser branches in YIG in our delegation. So essentially what Ledge does is essentially what is in the regular government. The fun part about Ledge is if you get through all the chamber and whatnot, and it goes back and forth, you can actually get it presented by a representative, and they may make some modifications, but the core of what your bill is, if you get past pretty much everybody, it's a little bit of high scrutiny, but it just filters out everything and makes it perfect.
Right.
And then some common bills that were passed are the stop signs on actual school buses and stuff, random things that you don't think about but make sense. If you're blind, the little dots on the edge, just crosswalks, that was imposed by a YIG kid. It's nice.
Very cool. Very cool indeed. So tell me, what is your what was your legislative accomplishment, or what your input during your tenure so far?
Oh God. Okay, you're putting me on the spot.
That's what I do.
Well, obviously, I'm part of the radio show, so
Yes.
kind of YIG outreach and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of commuting with other members in
Mhm.
Ledge, I guess, actually.
So my favorite thing about it is the 30-second speech that
Oh,
legislative.
the spiel.
You have to be able to distill.
Mhm.
If you've got a bill that you want to see passed, you have to be able to distill the explanation of what the bill is, how it works, and why it's needed, and do it in 30 seconds. It's called an elevator speech, right? I think that's just excellent because it really teaches you some very, very good basic skills that you can use in life for all manner of different things.
Yeah. Okay, starting off, Jamie, do you have anything you want to present first?
I have a few things. So first, there's this lady who is 90 years old in London, and she has an old painting from the Renaissance in her house, and
Oh, as you do.
oh yeah, just
Yeah.
every day.
Right.
And she actually has dementia and was sent to a nursing home.
Aw.
And the reason, yeah, exactly. So, and the reason how it was figured out that she had a painting was when she was sent there. You know, I don't think she had like a will or just anybody who could check out the house. So a social worker came and found the painting. So it actually came. It was set up for auction. And do you think you can guess how much it was like auctioned for?
Do tell.
It was $321,000 in US dollars.
Wow, very good. So
it's
more
just-
than paid her medical expenses.
Oh yeah, it was definitely going to her medical expenses, but I just found that incredible.
Yeah.
It was from
It was a great find.
yeah, exactly. The artist Filippo something, like Filippo, he was popular in the 15th century paintings. So
Oh,
yeah, it was
okay.
something that
Cool.
was about like 7 days ago.
Wow.
Interesting.
Very good.
Interesting. Okay, so on yes.
Yeah, you want to talk about some Spanish galleons, right?
Yeah. You know what that is? Okay. So this was in like the last 5 hours actually. So what happened was there like
Breaking news.
breaking news indeed. So there's about like 3 galleons that have been discovered in the United States. It's like only 3 states. One of them, oh God, it was Oregon. So what happened within the last 4 hours? Apparently there was another one they discovered. So I don't know. It's just amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
And I
Mr.
did my
Frank-
very bad
Oh
joke.
God, yes.
right?
Please tell the bad joke.
The bad joke is those Spanish ships generally make 1 or 2 passages between Europe and the New World, and so they get about 6 to 10,000 miles to the galleon. Oh,
It's bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
you finally got that one right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to dive into space?
We can. Who's going to do the space report? Will that be you?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
let's
Unless
go with
Jamie
it.
has something for space.
No, I have something about agriculture.
Oh, okay. All right. So here we go.
So
Ledge.
interesting.
Ledge.
Ledge?
In
Right.
5, 4, 2, 1. Maybe.
Maybe indeed.
Here we go.
Okay.
And now, here's John with the
Space.
Science and Space Report.
The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
Okay.
All right.
This is
Take
a
it away,
different one
John.
from usual. Okay.
Yeah.
So, concept of space,
Mhm.
black holes. Any
Mm.
thoughts?
Scary.
Very scary.
Okay.
Yeah.
How big do you think a black hole can get?
Much larger than the size of the biggest star.
So you're talking about supermassive black holes?
Supermassive. Yes.
Mm.
So, like,
Small.
consumption wise, like, if you had to compare it to anything, how much do you think it would, like, eat?
Probably
Universe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, this was within, like, a day or 2 ago. So, essentially, there was a massive one that was discovered, and it eats 1 Earth per second.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Where is it going?
It's a black hole.
But
That's true.
Yeah. Nobody really knows. I mean,
That's true.
yeah.
Spit out the other end, time warp.
We don't know.
Crush.
We just don't know. It's just, but it's, the cool thing is all the stuff that it absorbs is referred to as
Dark matter.
information.
Ooh, okay.
Everything is information, whether it's chemical information.
Did you hear about Gaia?
No, tell.
You know what Gaia is?
No.
Okay, that's strange. Okay, Mr. Frank usually knows these. Okay, so what it was.
Go ahead.
It's true though. Okay, so it's a British built like kind of like pixel camera. So essentially, what it does, the entire goal, like even like Hubble, it's to like observe galaxies and whatnot. Their entire goal is to essentially observe everything in the night sky. So like anything that can move, it'll track it. If it's still, it'll track it. So I think it has like, let us see. Yeah, it's the largest catalog of light sources in the sky. And I think it had like some 2 million different ones it was tracking at the moment. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And really fun.
Mm-hmm. We've got a couple space launches coming up.
We do indeed. Would you like to go?
Mm,
The NASA.
yes.
Right?
Yeah. Well, actually, there's
the pre-launch.
Yeah, Artemis. Artemis is pending. It's going to be. They're going to be doing the wet dress rehearsal. And for those of you that don't know what that means they do everything but push the start button. They fuel it up. They go through the countdown. They make sure that all the issues pertaining to the launch are met so that they can have a successful go for launch. And they get right down to the countdown and then do not push the go button. So, yeah.
We also
So-
got SpaceX too.
Yes,
Did you
SpaceX
hear
has
about
got, but the Dragon, the Draco thrusters that were leaking hypergolic fluid.
You're talking about something different from me.
Okay.
I was
Okay,
talking
go.
about the Mars rocket. So essentially, they're trying to get everything squared away.
Yeah, there's big breaking news on
Yeah,
that this
it's-
past week after we did the show. Mhm.
Yeah. So it was talking about like the Texas government talking about like mitigating actions and whatnot.
That was the FAA.
Yeah.
And the Texas Wildlife
75.
Authority. Yeah.
75 mitigating actions, including sonic booms.
Right.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. So the FAA gave an approval for the temporary license for SpaceX to go ahead with their Starship program on a experimental basis, pending the resolution of 75 of those wish list items, and they all have to be successfully checked off that list. So they think maybe a couple months probably before they're all mitigated. I mean, there's even turtles and things of that sort there that they're concerned about.
Won't be
Yep.
surprised if they build it within a month, though.
I
It's
don't know.
Elon
I mean,
Musk.
he's got a lot done with the launch rocket and the space vehicle. A lot accomplished, but he's got the new Raptor version 2 engines installed. There's like 33 of them. The BE4 had 29 in the original orientation, and he says, "No, we can pack more punch if we squeeze more engines in there." So they really cleaned up all the hardware around it so they can get squeeze more engines into that space. So there's 33 Raptor engines. I don't know if you could imagine. So when they do that wet dress rehearsal, that's going to be something spectacular just to when they light them up, because there's of course some of them are going to they're rated for I guess they're all, well, some of them are maneuverable and then the other ones are static. So I think all the ones in the inner ring are movable. There's like 6 or so in the inner ring, and then the outer rings are all static ones. But so, I mean, I don't think they're going to light up all 33. So they'll probably do the inner ring, maybe second, maybe first. I don't know. Maybe I'd do the inner ring first so that you can see it without any, obstructions, and then do the outer ring.
Okay. I'm feeling a bit of pullback over here.
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah.
Any
anyways.
thoughts on space?
It's cool. I like.
Oh my
I've been
God.
I've been to Cape Canaveral before, and it was really awesome. And I've heard of I don't know if you've heard of the Space Force thing that they were
Yep.
trying. That was
There's a Netflix
I mean-
show on it.
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if they were actually gonna do it, because it was a little while ago that they said they were gonna try to do something with it.
They set up whatever thing in the Arizona desert, I think. That was the last I heard about it.
Well, Space Force does have a
is official.
They
branch, though.
have a facility right there at the Kennedy Space Center, and likely at Patrick's Air Force Base, which is the neighboring facility. So I'm sure that, especially if they have DoD missions, that's Department of Defense. So if they do anything with those puppies, they'll be those will be quiet. In fact, the next SpaceX, either the next one or the one after that, has some ride share. And there's some items in there they can't disclose exactly what they are, but so I suspect they might be DoD related. So pretty cool.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff.
Yeah, the new SpaceX rocket will be launching when they get the green light to launch. In fact, when they do the first test orbital launch, they're actually going to try to put some of their Starlink satellites up as part of that launch.
That'd be cool.
The new version 2, which is what I think he said, like magnitude of improvement was like 100-fold or something. It was just staggering. But it's bigger size.
It is,
and they can't fit it into the fairing.
Dispenser.
Yeah, they can't fit it into the fairing of the current rocket they're using, the Dragon. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
you got to tell them about the Pez dispenser.
So
everybody know what a Pez dispenser is? Okay.
I think I've heard
No.
about like
okay,
it's like the candy thing
Right.
that you like push open and it comes out.
Oh, okay.
okay. So essentially, Elon Musk has been going on a bit of like a whack job stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So essentially, like remote controlled like vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
So imagine that making 3 gigantic ships, naming like one like something like follow the instructions, and then having rockets land on them. Next one is giant chopsticks for catching rockets. Okay. So essentially that's the premise of what it is. Instead of like
It's part of the launch tower.
yeah. So essentially instead of like having it set down and whatnot, instead you could like catch it and whatnot. And essentially creating giant metal chopsticks.
Mhm.
The third one is the Pez dispenser in outer space. So essentially the entire premise of it is kind of like a Pez dispenser. It'll have the satellites and then it'll dot, and like kind
It's
of
going to
flick
open.
them
It's
out.
going to open a door, just a narrow band door,
And kind of flick them out.
and
Until
then
they're
I guess they're going to use like a spring-loaded system and just kind of push them out the door, and they'll just come and they'll be stacked on a rack, and the rack will just position the next one, and out the door it goes. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So it's like a car vending machine.
It's like a what?
Car vending machine.
Have you seen this car
Like a
model?
vending
Like,
machine. Yeah. It's a little bit like that. I guess it's it would. I guess you can call it a vending machine for satellites.
There you
yes.
go.
Yes. Okay. That's okay.
Yeah. it's an
We'll go with
interpretation.
that.
One of
Yeah.
the other crazy stuff he's in the works is humanoid robots.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
The Tesla
AI.
bot.
The
Mhm.
Tesla bots in
Mhm.
there. Okay, any thoughts about that? Because I'm hearing some sighs.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird because I feel like it's good in like a sense where like in the certain like matters where you need to like get rid of human error, but like you still need like humans to do like thinking. Like robots, you can't really like think on your feet. You can try to get them to, but like make like quick decisions that like stuff like that. So
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's where the machine learning AI comes in, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Google
Mm.
had an entire thing about that recently. Some
Mhm.
people were worry about it having like semi-autonomous emotions and whatnot.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
Google said it doesn't, but
yeah. Of course I did.
yeah. Any thoughts, Ashley?
I actually agree too with Angelina, that I think it's a little weird. Like I think it's really cool how technology is advancing, but at the same time it's like there's pros and cons, to it, just like anything. And so it's pretty cool though. So.
Okay.
Yeah, the possibilities are great. So the big problem is there's more work opportunity than there are people to
Yeah.
perform those tasks.
And we have
Mhm.
declining birth rates and such
So
too.
yeah, declining birth rates around the world are going to be an issue, and so the bots, they could fill a need. They could fill a
Okay.
need. Yeah, that's that we could have a planet full of humanoid robots to do all the mundane tasks that you don't want to do, like make your bed
Oh
and
my god.
stuff like that, vacuum the floor, wash the dishes,
Yeah.
load the dishwasher, whatever, right?
I mean,
Right.
technology is already taking over some of the tasks, like when what's that thing where like a toll, the tolls, if you want to like go into a highway or something,
Right.
like
Mhm.
there's no more.
Sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. There's like no more toll workers, so
Yeah.
yeah, so electronics and technology is already taking over that. So that's that's kind of like a counteracting. We need more workers. It's just kind of getting rid of them. So.
Yeah, I feel like it can be a bad thing though because you have, college is like pretty expensive and not like everyone can afford to go to college and then if you have like AI and stuff, it eliminates like the like basic like jobs that are they you don't really need like education for. So it'll be like harder for those people to make a living. So that's like I think it would be bad for like that aspect.
Mm.
You know?
How about the people? Just me thinking now. What about the people that have to make the robots or repair the robots, or service the robots? There's going to be those. I think there's still going to be a need for people to do things, and I think there's still be a lot more employment,
Mhm.
needs, and the bots will help to underwrite some of the things that we can't accomplish or we need more hands for. But I don't know. That's just my thought. My gut feeling is that probably there'll be plenty of work created that people will still need to be involved in. So
Okay. Well, we have two different people here. So, what are your thoughts on what you would want to see in the future?
But like
Just in general,
in
like
general,
education, health, the world in
maybe
general.
like those two specific things. I mean, if they were like not as expensive, that would be pretty nice.
College?
Yeah, college and healthcare too. Yeah, that'd be pretty nice. You don't have to like pay like a lot of money to like get your like broken wrist fixed or something, or even just like get a general education. It shouldn't be that much money because
Agreed.
it's important to get. But not a lot of people can get it because it's hard and it's not as accessible to people that have like lower incomes.
Okay. Ashley?
Yeah, I would say the same thing, and also college is like a big thing in developing countries, and I feel like with more opportunity, more can be done in that sense. So I would like to see more help for those that don't like have enough money to be able to have those opportunities, like going to college or just receiving higher educations after colleges and all that. And so also just I don't know, just more technological advances would in like medicine would help a lot because there's some diseases that don't exactly have cures yet, and just that would be really nice to find cures for in the future.
Okay.
all right,
Gallica?
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
You want to take this as a good time to take a break? We'll let
Yeah.
Rocky and Bullwinkle take us to break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Take it away, Rocky.
And now,
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
again,
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Buick Fauci, with built-in GPS that's got you covered wherever you go.
Fauci, I'd like to drive to the bank.
That's a good reason for a mask. Other GPS systems make driving predictable, but when it comes to giving directions, the Fauci can't make up its mind.
Fauci, take me to Macy's.
I don't think we have enough information to do that, quite honestly.
Driving in bad weather is never an issue because the Fauci doesn't follow the science. It follows the teachers' unions.
Fauci, I need to drop my kid off at school.
I totally disagree with you.
The Buick Fauci, the car that's been locking down the competition for over a year.
Fauci, can you show me how to get to the theater?
Here we go again with the theater. Let's get down to the facts.
We're back. Okay.
All right. That was a nice break. And I would like to start off with an interesting fact about agriculture and just showing how humans have such a very detrimental impact on the environment. So, researchers recently were doing like a test and seeing the nutrients in vegetables and fruits in around the 1950s, 1960s compared to today. And today you would have to eat 21 oranges to have the same nutritional value of vitamin A, and when that was once in the 1950s. 21 oranges.
How many would you have to eat in the 50s?
One orange to receive the same amount of nutrients. And this is also part of the reason.
How do they know this? So they have a time machine and they capture one from the 1950s? How do they know?
Well, it's just it's testing the nutritional value of it. It's testing how like the strength of the vitamins and just seeing what it does to the body and stuff like that. So yeah, and also the way it's grown. So because of the intensive agriculture and just depleting the soil, the nutrients from the soil, that led to there being much less nutrients in future vegetables and fruits. And this could also lead to this also might be the reason for like kind of obesity, because people feel the need to eat more because they're not getting as much nutrients as they were back then. So it's just a theory, and I just found that super interesting. So yeah, I mean, humans' impact on the environment has been very, very detrimental and very kind of sad because, I mean, who knows, like we're not getting, actually 80% of people or Americans I've attest is that they were deficient in vitamin D and vitamin A.
Right.
So, I mean, who knows for the future? Hopefully they can come up with something.
Take more walks on the beach.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe technology can help with replenishing the nutrients, but it's depending on soil, really. The soil just has everything that we need to survive. So with that depleting, I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's really,
One of the interesting things when they clear the land, they turn up the soil. One of the things that are in the soil, you mentioned soil, is CO2. Because when you have vegetation and trees and bushes and all this stuff growing on in the ground, that's capturing all the carbon in the air and it's locking it down in the soil, right? So you get rid of all this vegetation, you till the soil. What are you doing? You're releasing that carbon. So that is the greatest release of carbon strangely enough, is when you till new soil, new ground.
Wow.
Isn't that weird? Yeah. You'd never think, but yeah.
Yeah, most people think it's like fossil fuels and stuff.
No, actually, because you've got such a high concentration.
That makes sense.
Of CO2.
Makes sense.
Because that's what plant life does, is it captures that CO2 and it gives you air, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, another interesting thing, kind of like on the more tech end. So in California, in Lockford, so essentially everybody's heard about like drone deliveries. Amazon's actually starting out this year.
Whoa, that's sketchy.
That's sketchy. Okay. I don't know. I mean, the thought of it just flying above and then
like, yeah, exactly.
I mean, do with like the fragile stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And then what if there's like a tree in the way? Like there's like a tree like blocking your front door, and there or something, you know.
Yeah, and then what about tornadoes and
I was
stuff?
gonna say, yeah, the weather would
Yeah.
have a big impact on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Or your
like a terrible
package gets
idea.
wiped out by a tornado.
Yeah.
Tsunami.
And then just like the, giving back money and just like reprimats and stuff, such a big deal. That seems excessive.
Yeah. Okay. Other stuff.
Kind of
Mr. Franks
struck that down, but
looking
it's okay.
something up. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to reset. We've got just stuff going on here. Yeah.
Another interesting thing. So Starliner is Boeing. So essentially there's been a massive bid because like even on the ISS within like the past, I think it is month, the spacesuits had a leak, and then they don't have like a mass surplus of spacesuits because I mean they're spacesuits. They take millions upon millions of dollars to make. So essentially there's been essentially an ongoing bid between a couple different companies going on to make a new spacesuit. So essentially right now it's mainly SpaceX, and then Boeing recently joined with that.
Boeing just recently jumped
It's been
in.
at
Yeah.
2 weeks or so that they
Right.
just joined.
Yeah, I read that article.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then is by Adam Savage. So essentially they made kind of like
Oh,
we're
the
at-
Mythbusters, Adam Savage. I think
yes.
so.
Okay. So
yeah.
essentially they made a Starliner suit replica of what they think it's going to be. And we're actually talking last week about it. Mr. Frink was talking about how you can actually look up kind of like how NASA actually does everything and all their experimentation successes and failures in spacesuits, which I found really, really interesting.
In fact, all their technology, all their groundbreaking technology is always open source. So that, yes. So you can basically, I mean, from your garage, if you've got the right equipment, you can research, you can go into their website and find the department that has the information that you're looking for, contact the necessary people and get those files. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
And then you can run with it.
No, there's been some weird stuff though. It's really interesting. What was it? There's an entire textbook from the US government that you can request essentially, and it would give you a breakdown of all your taxes and where they go.
Oh,
Did you
that
know
would
about
be
that?
well. Yes, they've talked about that for many
It was
years.
nice.
But but it's
You have to
it's kind of
request it, though, so.
it's pretty interesting to see where that goes. If you ever want to see what the pie chart looks like for your fuel bill, for whether it's electric fuel, energy bill, there's a pie chart of how much of that is fossil fuels, how much is that is solar energy or other renewable energy, and then there is also the taxes that are charged before you receive that product. So there's federal taxes and state taxes and local taxes, and that's all broken out. And there's actually a website that'll show you where the taxes are on when you buy $5 of gas for each gallon. It'll actually show you what the breakdown is also in taxes. You would be stunned to discover how much tax revenue. It used to be, I remember years ago, diesel fuel used to be less than gasoline. Suddenly it's more because somebody looked around and said, well, gee, there's a lot of trucks running around out there. They're sucking up diesel fuel. Let's tax them. Well, great. So let me ask you, if you've got people using diesel fuel and they're delivering goods and services that people want, need, and desire across the country, who's paying for that diesel fuel?
Consumer.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
Because then it gets marked up in the stores.
Right. So it's a hidden tax, right, to the consumer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't like that. I just don't like that. If you want to tax me, come to my face. Tell me what you're going to take the money and where is it going to go and how much you're going to take, But the hidden taxes are very, very frustrating.
Okay. This was also another little tidbit of history. So essentially, it was a DNA analysis of a tooth, and they were actually able to track down like the region of where the bubonic plague started.
Oh, I think I know.
You did? Okay. Okay, so it started in Kyrgyzstan though. Okay, so there's been like a couple cases of things like this within like the last year or so. There's like not like bubonic plague and stuff, just like fossil records and stuff.
Mm.
So essentially, I believe it was like within the last 4 months, we were talking about it was like a different genius of cavemen and whatnot, and they're basing it off the chromosomes.
Denosophanes, I think. Denosophanes.
It was something like that.
Well, it really is this funny name because of the guy. It was actually a French cave and was named after a French monk by the name of Denis. And so they found these unique people that weren't Neanderthal and they weren't modern humans. So they gave them the name Denisophans. And now they're finding now that they've cataloged this particular genus of people, they're finding that they're all over the place. They're in Asia. They're everywhere. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, we just had like a major kind of like breakthrough of that sort of technology and whatnot, and finding out everything within the past year or so. So
yes, explosion of information.
Okay. Any all like archaeology, I guess? No, maybe.
I don't know.
What's your big science? What do you nerd out on with science?
Plants. I like plants.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
All right.
Yeah, I'm doing my.
So if you go to Mars, you would be like the plant goddess there, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like I like the more biology sciences. Yeah. I'm doing like a big biology project on plants, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah. How does that project so when you vision a project, you kind of have a desired end game, right? You expect what you expect the results are going to be. You kind of figure that out when you write your paper ahead of time, right?
Yeah.
And then you test to see if you get those results.
Yeah, I'm working on like the introduction part, and I'm going to do like the rate of like plant growth within like self-sustaining ecosystems like in different like different size like containers. So
like mesocosms?
Yeah. But like they're like advanced.
So a few episodes back, John and I talked about lunar soil.
Yes, we did.
You remember
I believe
that?
It was China.
No,
Not China.
I
There
don't
was
know.
something about
it was lunar soil
Right, okay,
that from 50 years ago. They said, let's see if we can grow stuff in this.
It was China.
And they grew what for 16 days it grew pretty well. Was it tomatoes they were growing?
It was 6 days. It grew well, and then it stunted growth, and something like one rye wasn't getting enough nutrients or something.
Right. But they germinated, were able to germinate seeds in lunar soil right away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I feel like you could like create like a hybrid plant that could survive pretty well.
That's
kind of soil.
I think that's what they're looking at right now. Yeah.
There was another thing about, I think it was China again. So essentially, China did a thing where they kind of was doing like a photosynthesis, kind of like to create oxygen. They were using it completely out of like moon soil.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. Okay, Ashley, I'm going to target you next.
Okay.
Put you on the spot. What's your favorite science?
Chemistry for sure.
Chemistry. I like it. That's my favorite too.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
It has
When
a
you know
lot to
chemistry,
offer.
you can figure out just about anything, how things work.
A lot to offer
Yes.
about everything.
I'm a big fan. All right. We'll cover this when we get right back. So stick with us. We have much more to cover.
Hello, we are back from that break. Okay. Okay. Let's just go with this. Okay. So let's go with a little bit of a Florida man segment, except it's not in Florida. Jeremy, what? Okay.
Very excited.
Okay.
California man? Is it
Australia.
Cal-
Okay. Our friends. Okay. So let me set the scene. You're out of the house, right? You're just like doing whatever. You're going to the mall or something. And then all of a sudden, there's this robber, right? Okay. Now they break into your house. Now they shower in your shower.
I hate
Oh,
when that happens.
is it with the lady that took care of the dog? Too,
No.
When she broke. Oh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
Then they
yeah.
change into your clothes. And only then do they try to steal your car. Now, let me set the scene. After you're done going to the mall or something, maybe go to Gap or something, you come home with your kids and whatnot. Okay. Come home with the entire family. Then you see this woman in your car trying to steal it, right? Okay. So this is what happened to this couple and their family. So essentially, the husband, he uses a forklift and whatnot for his like dealership or whatnot. So essentially, the entire situation was half the family flanked them on one side, like cornered the car so they couldn't get out. And then the husband took the forklift, went over to the car, picked it up, hoisted it into air. And then since the family surrounding them, the person couldn't get out and escape or anything, they waited until law enforcement came, and then they had to slowly lower them down, then arrest them.
That's
I saw
awesome.
that.
Nice.
Funny.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So what is the object lesson there?
want to be fresh and clean,
Yeah, it's
Don't-
good to have a
don't try
forklift
it.
license.
Yeah, it's not good to try to rip off somebody who owns a forklift, right?
Yes.
Oh, so did you I don't know, Ashley, if you showed me it, I think you showed me it. It was like the lady that broke into someone's house and like fed the dog, let the dog outside, and like did the dishes and like did the laundry and then just like left. But they broke into the house. It was so weird.
They just did the chores for the person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a sleepwalker.
It was during the day, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
That was an interesting fact. Most robberies happen in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
and it's mostly in the radius of the home, like normally where it happens, and people because nobody's gonna walk up to a random house.
Right.
Yes, most like murders are like people you know
Yep.
too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
Wow.
getting off on a weird
Yeah.
topic.
Very weird.
Okay. No,
Anything else?
not particularly. That's entirely appealing. Though I do have a question for Ashley.
Yes.
Okay, we talked about Angie's interests. You're talking about chemistry.
I was, yes.
What interests you in specific, like pharmaceuticals?
Yes,
something?
pharmaceuticals. I actually want to become a pharmacologist.
That was a random guess.
Oh wow. Well, you guessed right. Yeah, I'm very interested in like medicines and drugs and all of that. Of course, pharmaceutical. And just how medicines, it's awesome how they are able to cure most diseases and how we depend on them so much. Mhm.
Now, these days, people find a solution with pills. Like if you deficient in vitamin A, take a pill. Yeah, D, even vitamin D. I mean, people won't go outside; they will take a pill for that. There's pills for that. It's just
You get more vitamin D just in 10 minutes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Than a pill.
Yeah.
No, that was an interesting thing. I believe it was like in Alaska, they have sun lamps. That was fun. You know what those are?
Yeah,
Oh.
they have 6 months of
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the sun lamps. I always found those very
Well, I
interesting.
think that makes
Oh.
good sense.
Yeah, it's
It
convenient.
does.
Yeah.
But then you could just have one in your house. Just,
So do they?
No.
Do you think they're going to put sun lamps in the? So you're on a spaceship going to Mars. So let's kind of noodle through this. I mean, you want to create a 24-hour day. You want to have day and night. Light period, dark period. Do you want to have artificial gravity? I mean, there's a lot of things you got to a lot of issues you need to solve, right?
right.
Because I think that'll create, better sleep opportunities if the lights on are all the time. I don't think sleep's going to be a very good thing. right?
That is an interesting point, actually.
Well,
we'll save that for another
Oh
time.
yeah.
I was thinking about something
Oh, wait a
else.
minute. No, we got some time. I looked at the clock, the countdown clock wrong. Okay, we're good.
Okay, we're good. Okay.
Yeah, we're
so I was
good.
going to talk about something else for a little bit. So there's an entire thing with Elon Musk about like boring technology and whatnot. We were talking about this like
Yeah. He found a patch of land in Texas that's perfect for cutting through. Perfect for because normally he does what, like about a mile a week or something like that with his machine.
Right.
But he can do like 6 miles a day with this new compact soil that it's like perfect soil for his machine in Texas. Coincidentally. So I think so Boring is relocating their office there to Texas. Yeah.
Yes, okay. So it was an entire thing. So essentially, one of the things they were possibly thinking about was like on Mars and whatnot. So Perseverance, like the rover that was on there. So essentially, it was like a seismometer and whatnot. They essentially picked up like a magnitude of a 5 earthquake. So essentially, the entire proposal by Elon Musk and all of them was, I mean, he already has a boring company. So the entire thing was boring down into Mars's Earth and then setting up a colony there because the plates wouldn't be as like shiftable. So you'd be essentially living inside the crust of Mars.
Right. And you don't have to worry about the
shifting plates, earthquakes,
and the radiation.
And the radiation. It's
Right.
a big one too.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Any thoughts? Living underground? The conspiracy is true.
Yeah. Be like ants.
Be like ants.
Except we don't go up.
Meet a Martian.
Yeah, true.
Ants are so weird. They exchange chemicals, and we still haven't figured out how they communicate.
Oh yeah.
They can crawl just about anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should look up how many ants there are in the world, and it's like
so many.
It's a big number. It's more than you think. It's kind of scary.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
amazing creatures.
when they cross paths, they're like, okay.
Yeah, they share information. Yeah, they share information. I guess there's some sort of hormones that they share, and
Yeah.
Other things, supposedly there's every type of personality in a human in ants. Another thing, so we're if you want to go on like the topic of bees and stuff, you guys know about like bee dances and whatnot?
Oh my goodness. I have a story, but okay. Anyway.
You can go for it, mate.
Okay, so there's this I heard the story. So there's a bee like kind of, I don't know, sanctuary, and there was this one group of bees that was brought to a sanctuary that it was foreign to, and these bees from the same sanctuary. Okay, so two sanctuaries. One sanctuary bees goes to the other sanctuary of bees. Okay, now this sanctuary of bees to the foreign one, we'll call them 1 and 2. 1 goes to 2. The first sanctuary of bees that originally is in the sanctuary starts to fly up and discover this new kind of family of bees. And these two bees, now they were talking to each other, communicating with each other, and seeing like whether they were coming in as permanently or not permanently. So somehow these bees exchanged with each other. Oh no, we're just gonna be here for a little bit for, you know, it's like we're just gonna be here for a little bit because we were brought here, and that caused the domestic bees to stay in their stay in the sanctuary and kind of like lay off of the new group. So I mean that's just incredible how we have how they can communicate like that.
that is cool.
We'll catch you all next time though.
Yes, we thank you all for listening, and we thank you all for being here in the studio. And we'll be back next week right here on Treasure Coast Forum.